What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bleacher Report. I am your host, TD from TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Punch that fire button on your way in the building. Listen, we got a lot to talk about. Today, I wanted to talk about the fact that the Miami Dolphins need to sign Xavien Howard ASAP. We're going to get into that and more, but make sure you let your friends and family members know about the app as well. We are live every Wednesday evening after the 6 o'clock hour, giving you the latest and some of the things that I've been thinking about in regards to the Miami Dolphins, all right? But listen, let's get into it. The draft is over. Okay, we have a lot of undrafted free agents, which we'll talk about over the next coming weeks. But I've been really sitting back saying, man, how can this team get better? I know, we've kind of geared up to where, hey, man, we've gotten back to, solid, but we're not contenders. We're thin in the secondary. Everything else I can live with, but our secondary corners and safeties are really weak right now. And I just been trying to figure out, okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? And yesterday, the news broke that the Miami Dolphins have reached out to cornerback James Bradberry. Okay. When I found out they reached out to James Bradberry, I immediately realized that the Dolphins are in desperation mode right now. We don't have a corner that we feel comfortable with. We don't even have a safety that we feel comfortable with. And Bradberry, he didn't even play last year. He had an Achilles injury in August camp and didn't even play last year for the Eagles. Not only that, technically in 2023, he was coming off one of his worst seasons. He wasn't even great in 2023, one of his least productive seasons. And then and to go after a guy coming off of an Achilles that's 31, about to be 32 years old, 32 in August, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. He'll be 32 years old. I mean, wow. We're desperate. Chris Greer walking around here saying, we're going to add some pieces in free agency, but we see what you're trying to add, and we can't. If you're going to bring James Bradberry in, then why not just give Xavien Howard a call? Why not just give Xavien Howard a call? Familiar with the Miami Dolphins organization. He's played here. He's been under the regime. Why not just give Xavien Howard a call? I take my chances with Xavien Howard before I took my chances with James Bradberry. And maybe you want to bring both of them in. But and here's the saddest part about it. I think a cornerback room of James Bradberry and Xavien Howard would be better than what we have now. Oh, that just gave me a immediate headache. That revelation right there just gave me an immediate headache. A room of James Bradberry and Xavien Howard would be better than what we have now. Oh my gosh, we're in desperation mode. I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. This is where we are. So I'm a huge advocate for whatever's best for the team. And I'm gonna tell you now, how can you go wrong with Xavien Howard? I know he's getting older and stuff, but I would take Xavien Howard over a lot of these guys that's available right now. I really would. I see some people in the chat saying there's a scheme Weaver can use to take the pressure off the secondary. How long? How long? I mean, you can scheme all you want all day. Eventually, cracks start to show. And when you got the secondary that we have in the corners and safety position, I'd hate for our offense to do well and we lose every week because we're getting toasted in the secondary. I'd hate for just another excuse. Oh, when the offense was better, the only reason we were losing is because of the defense. But you know what? I had to blame myself. Here I am trying to find ways to be optimistic and have hope for a Super Bowl contending year this year. And that's where I'm probably fooling myself. Because when we added Jonah and Daniels on the O-line, I'm like, the O-line might be better this year. Ooh, we got our run game, plus we added Ollie. Man, the receivers are still there. Waddle and Tyreek, Jonnu. If Tua could stay healthy, oh man, do we have something finally? And I'm like, we had a top 10 defense last year. And I'm like, ooh, we're going to have a pass rush. We got the defensive tackles. We're good in the trenches. The linebackers, I like what we got there. And then we just have a completely weak secondary between the corners and safeties. Just absolutely bad. Nothing you can trust. And I hate for, once again, a glaring issue on the team shows itself. Now, some people think I'm trolling when I say the Dolphins need to sign Xavien Howard ASAP. Can you tell me the cornerback on this roster right now that's better than him at his older age? Can you tell me the corner right now on the roster that's better? I understand y'all feel like he lost his step, his speed, but I'm sorry. Better than what we have. Somebody said plus a year removed. Yet we're looking at James Bradberry. No, Xavien Howard did not play last year. D-man rules. But here's the problem. The Dolphins are looking at James Bradberry to bring in. He didn't play last year. Fresh off an Achilles last August. Which also makes you believe, hey, will he even be ready? I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. Man, y'all are really against this in the chat. Bro, X is washed, TD. Even if he's washed, tell me the corner that's on the roster right now that's better. That's the problem we have. That's the issue. Tell me the corner that's better right now. And I'm tired of it. Like reminds me of Jordan Poyer last year. We thought he was going to give us whatever last little bit he had in the tank. No, that was just horrible. That was just horrible. But I am shocked, though. I am shocked that a lot of y'all aren't trying to hear it. But my only issue, I'm going to say it one last time, it's about improving. These young guys we have now, they're just not showing up. They're not playing good football. They're not trusted by the coaching staff. They aren't. And that's the problem. What else are we going to do? What solutions do you all have? This secondary is toast. But I feel like maybe it's just me, but y'all don't feel like we're like 2 or 3 players away from legitimate hope again? Y'all don't feel like we're like 2 or 3 players away from legitimate hope? All in the secondary, by the way. I see people I see people saying Rasul Douglas in the chat. Is that who you guys want Miami to bring in? Let me know in the chat. Rasul Douglas, is that who y'all want Miami to bring in? I'm just curious because isn't Rasul Douglas coming off like his worst season in the NFL ever? Isn't he an 8-year veteran and last year was his worst year in the NFL ever? Now, the year before was his best year, but last year it was his worst season ever in the NFL. His coverage was terrible. There's a reason he's available right now. Why you think Buffalo didn't bring him back? Facts, TD. I'm very aware. I'm not trying to have Jordan Poyer 2.0. He's coming fresh off of his worst season of his career. Matter of fact, let me look that up. I'm guessing on worst season because I knew it was bad, but let me see. Pull it up. All right. Sue Douglas. Let's see if PFF concurs. Bam. All right. He's coming up now. Sue Douglas. Right. Loading. Got him. All right. Defense. All right. Yep. Oh, no. It was 1 year worse. Barely. It was his second worst year out of 8 years. Back in 2019, he was rated a 52.4. Last year, he was a 53.9. Pretty much the same. Oh, man, just horrible. Just horrible. Coverage grade, 51.6. And we're talking about cornerback. No. No. True. Yeah, that's not going to work. My position. Let me make sure I have this. All right, cool. Yeah, that's a no-go for me too. His PFF doesn't have a grade. It just says yuck. TD, let's get Jair. He wants to get paid anyway. We might as well get him and overpaid like we always do. Why would we get Jair Alexander when he's as hurt as Tua? Oh my God. Do you not understand why Green Bay doesn't want to deal with Jair? The man is hurt as much as Tua. Man. Yeah, and there's no question when Jair is on the field, he balls. He's a good corner, but he always hurt. He's always hurt, man. Can't go off of that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the last 3 years, 4 years, he's gotten hurt. Good corner, but you're gonna overpay for a guy who always getting hurt because he won his value. Just say you an X guy. You can never say that about me. I'm the one that's been preaching trade X for the last 5 years so you can get something for him before you waste his career. And sure enough, we wasted his career. We never got anything for him. So you can't say I'm this X guy. I just feel like he would give us better play than all of these options we keep talking about. Billy said, bring X back for TD to call him washed after a Buffalo game is nasty work. Maybe, but it's still better than what we're talking about. It's still better than what who would have ever thought we'd be in this position? Go from X to Byron Jones. You know, you had Ramsey, you got multiple high draft picks at the corner position. And here we are today, and we got nothing. Here we are today, and we have nothing. How does this stuff happen? TD was the biggest trade X guy. We good. That's my point. So the proof is right there in the chat. Everybody know I was one of the biggest advocates of trade him. But let's not sit here and act like we don't know why I was saying trade him. Because I already knew we were going to be wasting his prime. We weren't going to win anything with Tua. I've been told y'all this. Trade him now so we can get something versus nothing for him. Because you're about to waste his prime. And that's exactly what the Dolphins did, wasted his prime instead of listening to me and trading him. And everybody told me how crazy. Why would we trade one of our best players? I said, first of all, corners aren't that great that long unless they're one of the rare breeds. And even if it is one of the rare breeds, we're not doing nothing for the next 4 years under this current team. Oh, you terrible Dolphins fan don't know what you're talking about. We're going to win playoff games with X. We wasted his career like I told y'all. We wasted his career exactly like I told y'all. Exactly how I told y'all we would. But where are those people that used to clown me for my take of trade him? There's no hope if Tua is the QB. He's not a Super Bowl caliber QB. I get it, man, but they're gonna keep trying. So maybe Tua can shock us one day. Maybe. X had injury issues too late in his career. I agree. But that's why I knew. Why would you give him the big bucks and keep him on the team? That's why I kept saying trade him. And as far as now, he'd be dirt cheap, so we could deal with it. But trying to go get a Jair Alexander, spending that kind of money for a guy who always hurt? No, that's not smart. It's just not wise. The Dolphins need to be wise. TD, you need to lay off the pipe. Why do y'all say stuff like that? Like, what's like, y'all, yes or no in the chat? What I'm saying right now, is it not a fair take? Xavien Howard is better than every corner we got in the building. So why is this like this lay off the pipe type situation? I don't get it. I don't get it. Seems fair in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. It's like when y'all throw somebody away, y'all throw them away. But y'all were the same people arguing with me about how crazy I was to say trade him in to begin with. Yes, I did see that the Bills signed Elijah Moore. So they get a wide receiver that might, you never know, might break out with a good quarterback now. You never know. Bring in some cornerbacks, undrafted free agents, and let them battle it out in camp. Yeah, that's all good. But once again, I mean, what we're letting the lower end of prospects battle it out for a position instead of trying to be better. I mean, I would think you would bring prospects in to battle it out regardless, but we need some guys that, some veterans, some guys that have experience, some played the position. Are we just giving up? I get it. Are we just giving up? Yeah, I don't believe this team can win a Super Bowl this year, but I'm not giving up. I'm like hoping, hey, shock me, Miami. I'm not giving up. So I'm always trying to figure out how can we do this year. Not giving up, man. No one signed X last year for a reason. Well, he also had a lot of off the field issues. But again, my point with all of this is this. If you're going to be going out there looking at James Bradberry, then why not X? Bradberry missed the whole season last year with an Achilles from August. And in 2023, it was his worst year. He was not playing well. So that's all I'm saying. He wasn't even playing good before he got hurt. I see some of y'all say we don't need that in the locker room. Maybe. Y'all do understand we need two we need two corners, right? He's only one. So I'm going to stick on that. Like I said, Dolphins need to sign Xavien Howard ASAP before he gets snatched up, because I think Dolphins are targeting free agents that are starting to get signed by other teams. And let's not forget, even Bradberry, Buffalo brought him in 2 weeks ago to check him out. They didn't sign him. And they were looking at him. Don't forget, he might still be banged up. We're just in a bad place. Greer need to make a move, make a trade, but he's not because they're preparing for the future. Anywho, y'all think about it. That's all I can leave you with, is to think about it. I think it would be a good move. Somebody who already fully understands the culture of Miami. Because, yeah, X ain't playing nowhere else, right? He's a Miami through and through. Bring the man back, man, on a cheap deal. Let him ride out with this team and give us at least a little bit better hope. You never know. He might have a little late career spark. Time always tells. Anywho, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Bleacher Report once again. I'm your host, TD from TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Next week on Wednesday, we'll be chopping it up about the undrafted free agents, my thoughts on them, and then evaluating the roster as a whole. Until next time, we'll see you soon. Love you all. Peace. I am out. And shout out to those on YouTube. I got Yankee Lovers said mid-secondary plus elite front seven equals Tony Sperano's Fins. TDX is so serious. Watson type legal trouble, FYI. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. Why not sign Samuel Jr.? He's 25 with Howard. I got to go see the situation, man. Got to go check out the situation. Anyway, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'm getting up out of here, man. Fins up no matter what. Peace. I'll see you soon. If you didn't check out the Dolphins Collective yesterday, it was a dope episode. Go check it out right now, all right? Thank y'all for tuning in.